Okay, what is up? We're back another day. We are going to get these wired up. The rails came in from OVS so we can mount the lights up top. I needed to get that tent mounted first. So first thing we're gonna do is, I've already got, these are the pigtails for the lights. I've already got some connectors on. These are, it's crazy how expensive these things have gotten, by the way. These are the nicer, like waterproof connectors. So I'm gonna get all the connectors on, heat shrink it, get that all looking nice, and then start to get these things wired up.
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh.
All right, next thing we've got to do is just measure this out. These are both 18 gauge wire. This one is just 3 wire because the smaller lights have the backlight on them, so we use this for the smaller cubes, and then this is for the bigger ones. It's just 2 wire. So we'll measure these out, get them hooked up.
The way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh.
This is done. Other than getting some cloth tape to put here instead of this kind of shiny electrical tape. I think it looks pretty good, happy with it. Used this hole here to kind of secure this. So now pop the hood, route it, get it hooked up, and we should have light. I'm gonna be totally honest, I'm like doing this in the dark, I can't see nothing. But yeah, just having this single panel to wire everything into, this is even if you're just gonna do like a single pair of lights, this is a no-brainer. I got spoiled because my last car was the Jeep, and they come standard with, not all of them, but as an option you can get accessory lights. Okay, let's go see if this thing works. All that work, and it came down to right there, that a wire that was out. So that's one thing on these videos that I do. I'm never gonna trick you into thinking that it was easy. It's always something. So I'm gonna get that fixed. I'm gonna jump to the other side, and then we'll go to the top. All right, roof rails are on and done. They look good. I'm gonna leave the tent off for now. I did some measuring and I kind of know where it's gonna sit. So my original idea was to mount this light either, like I said, right here, probably more like a 90, just to give light off to the side, or even back here, facing the back. I think that would be actually really cool. The only problem that I have is in order to route the wiring, I think I would have to unscrew this and get the wiring under this lid. And I just really don't want to create a leak point. So, in addition to my rock lights I'm gonna put on, I have wanted some additional ground lighting. So check this out. This fits perfectly right here in the center. There's already a mounting hole right here. This will go perfect in the center of the truck, and I could either angle it down or straight out. It's tucked in there, so I think this is where it's gonna live. Good news is I think for now I'll only have one more wire running up in here. It'll just be one wire for the rock lights. And then the lights that I have to go inside the truck cap, those are, they have their own switches, so I'll wire those direct to the battery, and then you pop those on and off with a switch. They're pretty cool. They're actually, there's one switch for white and then one switch for red, so you can do either depending on what you're trying to do. So yeah, let's wire up the other side and then we'll get it all hooked up. Everything's wired up. I'm just gonna put one zip tie around all of these wires just to hold them together. I cut one a little long, so poking out just a little bit, so clean this up. Perfect. Bam. Kind of see all my wires ran through here, pretty cleaned up. I'm gonna go start it. Well, let's see, make sure they're working. Bam. Love it. Okay, a little midday update. It's about lunchtime. Everything looks like it is working good. These are rolling. These down here are good. Just gonna check, make sure it's all still working. Yep, it is working. So I'm gonna go grab some lunch. I think we've got to pick up a couple more butt connectors. I may do something even a little different for the rock lights, but come back, start wiring up the rock lights, and then by then The lights for the inside of the truck cap should be in. We'll get those wired up, and this will be a whole different rig at night. So I'll be back in about an hour, and we'll finish this thing up. Okay, back from lunch. Got the rock lights out. These are pretty dirty. Again, these were on my Jeep. Nothing fancy here. I have 4 of these are actually Harbor Freight, these guys here. Way better quality than I had originally thought, and they're super bright. And then I have 4 more that are these rough country ones here. One thing that I did do is I got these heavy duty magnets, and I epoxied magnets to all of these. So on my Jeep, they were all down around the frame rail, not even the frame rail, kind of the body tucked up under the frame rail, so they were still protected. So I'm hoping to use these again. I'm not going to do any in the wheel wells. They're all going to be frame level around to give good ground light. So I'm going to crawl under there, magnet these where they're going to go. Then we're going to start making the wiring harness. And then these came in too. These are essentially just rock lights. Same situation here. But again, I'm going to hardwire these to the battery, and they have these independent power switches. So one is for a white light, one is for a red light, and I am going to put these right here. So these I'm going to wire up through this channel, and they're going to go right here. So you'll just be able to push button on and off. All 3 panels will have one, and then I'm going to do one up inside of here so that we can light up the bed cap. So we'll do this after, but for now, we're going to get these rock lights going. If for whatever reason you are going to do different manufacturer rock lights, it's pretty common sense, but make sure that they are the same color. Seen that happen before. Somebody goes with 2 different brands, and then the whites are different colors. So I'm gonna do 2, one on either side, and we'll just crawl under here and see if there's a good spot to hook these things up. I do have a good spot there. So you can obviously just stick these to the frame if that's what you want to do. Problem with that is if you are doing off-roading, you have to worry about smashing them on a rock. So I've got one right here and one right here, which to me looks pretty close to being centered, so that should work there. So here's kind of my conundrum. You've got this perfect perch right here that this will just stick on. And there's another one on the back side that's in the exact same spot, so it's even. I like this because if you can see, it pushes the light out away from this rock rail so that you can get light down on the ground. I think really it needs to be moved a few to about right here where my finger's at, and you can do that right here. But if you do that, most of this light is going to be blocked, and I think it's going to cast a big shadow on the ground. So similar, you could put it up here, but I still think you're going to get a pretty big shadow there. If you put it there, this frame rail is going to block so much of that light, as opposed to keeping it here. Gets this light quite a bit lower, and I think it's gonna, you're gonna get more on the ground. So again, there's one there, and then there's another one right here. It's in that kind of same exact spot. So I think that's where it's gonna have to go. put the other ones over on the other side, and then we'll figure out the front. So same situation here. We're back in the rear. I think this right here is going to be the best spot. It's right in between the spare tire and the bumper bracket. Ideally, I think I would want to move that back towards the rear tires just a little bit, but we're going to get into some pretty big shadows and stuff, I think. So I think that's going to be the best spot. So just for reference, it puts that light about right here, and then about right here. So we should have really good coverage of this rear area. All right, let's go figure out the front. Okay, let's crawl under here and see what we got. I'll be honest, in the Jeep, there wasn't like a great spot to do it. I ended up, I guess these are aluminum. It must have been, my Jeep was steel. So I ended up going on the front of the skid plate, but we'll get under here and see what we can find. The good news about this aluminum is I can always drill into this and mount them if I needed to. So I found a spot up front for those lights on the skid plate centered in there. I'm just gonna have to get a nut and a bolt and a washer to kind of make that work. So instead of going to get that and slowing down my progress again, I'm just going to start back here at the back. All the other placement's good. I'm going to run one wire. I got 18 gauge wire. I'm going to run one wire down each side, tap into all the lights on the way, merge them in the middle, so there's only one wire going up to the aux beam. I got these, I don't know if you can see that, but these are those heat sink and solder butt connectors. So all you have to do is you take these, you thread this through like that. You take the other one that you're wanting to solder, twist them together, then you slide that connector back over the top, and then using a heat gun just like that. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'll show you here in just a second. I'm going to take my heat gun. There's a little metal ring in there. First one's done. These are pretty cool. It gives you a waterproof seal on either side with these little plastic rings that melt, and then this solder in the middle. Once it fully melts, it just kind of runs through there, just like a normal soldering iron. So that was super easy, and looks like that's gonna work really well. So I'm gonna put just a piece of electrical tape around that to hold it, get it mounted, and then we're just gonna keep going all the way up to the front. So this part ends up taking me a whole lot longer than I thought. I just wanted to make sure all the connections were done right and the routing was done the right way. And so it ends up being a whole lot of splicing and a whole lot of routing underneath the truck. So I don't do much filming from this point on, just because, again, it gets really tedious. So I think what I'm going to do is stop the video here and then do a part 2 where I start fresh as I just finish up the lights underneath the cap and then get it outside and get some good shots and see what the lights look like. So thanks again for watching. I'll get out the second part pretty quick, and we'll see you then.